All right, y'all, we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business. We're going to see for these two Google searches if BSS is present. So we're back here in the GBC universe. We're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that, the home video, pinned video, somewhere around here. And this is because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our FSIC picture here in white. Over on the left, the highest intent peeps, that's social search, that's Google search, searching, boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And we talk about that here when we talk about BSS. Over on the right, that's the lowest intent peeps, people that ain't searching for that right now, most often have no idea what the heck boudoir even is. So they actually So we actually have to reach them via interruption ads on Facebook and Instagram. Talk about that over on our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, where we currently only work with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads, and where we talk about BLCS over there. So BSS is boudoir search sameness. That is when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google. And having 0 slots, our business is dying a fast death because 0 slots page 1 means we're on page 2 or deeper. And as a result, we are invisible to approximately 80% of the market. 80% of, we know that approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So we're down a fast death there. Page 1 Google search, not good either. We're looking the same as everyone. The other 9 boudoir photographers, they'll be there each with one link. So we're essentially invisible there as well. And 0-1 slots of page 1 Google is not normal. It's actually a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And those 2 deeper root causes are market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, basically everyone knows that. Someone's getting a new iPhone, new camera gear. Just over time, more people enter the marketplace. They throw up their Google My Business profile saying that for boudoir photo shoots. They are throwing up basically they're throwing up their website saying they now do boudoir photography. They're posting the mom groups that they now offer boudoir. And as a result, more boudoir photography sellers, same number of buyers, harder for every single boudoir photographer. Next, something that's not previously known was the false belief of page 1 equality. This is where boudoir photographers kind of accepted, kind of without thinking about it, that every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google, and that's simply, simply how it is. And as a result, they are, kind of maybe they're slot 8 on page 1, and some market saturation happened. Now they're slot 2 on page 2. They're kind of like, oh, well, that's simply how it is. Hopefully, those people delete their websites and Google stops indexing them and ranking them. So maybe Google will pull me back up onto page 1. So this is 100% incorrect. We've actually discovered Google will give us as many page 1 slots as we want to acquire. And as a result, as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And we discovered this with our new methodology where I was able to go from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search. And we were actually able to do that all in 10 days. So we'll see those results in like 2 more pictures here. We also know that boudoir photographer with BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer. And it's kind of the first warning light, the canary in the coal mine, that that our boudoir photography business is on the path to disappearing as well. But what we've discovered is BSS is treated with social search saturation SQ methodology. We discovered this because we invented it. And it works exactly as it says, social search saturation. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in our city, so we show up there. This is kind of like the snow at the top of the Andes Mountains down in South America on the eastern side, the backside. And what happens to that snow is it melts into small streams, small rivers, and it actually all flows down, flows together into the Amazon River. The Amazon River is page one on Google. So it all starts with saturating social search, which then allows it to flow into page one on Google. And what's interesting is this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that can successfully compete against market saturation in a relatively quick time frame. So still allow business to grow in a relatively quick time frame without ever without taking a long time. The second option is building a large, well-known brand. Dude, that takes 5 to 10 years. We ain't got 5 to 10 years. We got AI here taking everyone's jobs. We need results faster, way faster in 5 to 10 years. And so brand is off the table for right now at this time. And something interesting about SQ methodology is I actually believe my estimates is it can actually help build a brand, large, well-known brand, approximately 8x faster than standard methods, because we're on so many surfaces, so many times, and actually kind of utilizing the mere exposure effect for our benefit here. So here's an example of fighting back against the market saturation with SQ methodology. Let's say we are let's say we are in Memphis, Tennessee. There's 1 million boudoir photographers. We're one of them. And as a result, everyone's got their website saying they do boudoir photography. Everyone's trying to rank page one on Google. So ultra competitive, and realize, man, we ain't got no brand. We got to really fight. Like literally, SQ methodology is the only solution out there that can help us with this. So we start using it, and we actually crank it up like maximum. And let's say that gives us the first 300 slots page one, or first 300 slots social search against all of the against all of the on all the social networks. That, let's say that flows onto Google, and we get the first 300 organic slots on Google as well. So it's like 10 slots per page, and 10 slots per page means we're taking up basically the first 30 pages of Google search. So we got everywhere a boudoir buyer looks: social search, Google search, basically all in one they can find. So whose business is going to be growing? Obviously ours. For the all-in-one peeps can be fine, and whose business is going to be dying, disappearing, going away? Obviously every other with our 999,999 boudoir photography competitors in our marketplace. And as a result, we actually, it's kind of the only option for us that gives us a chance to keep growing. So that's what's special about SQ methodology. Now, once you're with SQ methodology, we have page one visibility. Initial benefit, obviously, more page one links to Google search. And we've got this new secondary benefit where every new link we get page one Google search, we're actually kicking a competing boudoir photographer off page one, effectively making them invisible to the approximately 80% of searchers that are never even reached page two. They're page one searchers only, which means making them visible to the bulk of the marketplace. So a lot of boudoir photographers say they actually like this benefit the most. And page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. So the GBC universe has a recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 page one slots on Google. And that's a recommended minimum because basically everyone else is going to have one slot, so we're going to be dominating them on page one. In the ultra rare case, someone has 2 slots. Well, our 3 slots are also going to be dominating them. So we're basically covering all scenarios by having 3 out of 10. Finally, we know that a boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer. So this is our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. That's fine. Simply search. Well, we'll simply use our SQ methodology social search saturation. And that gives us page one visibility, turns us into a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. Now onto my results using SQ methodology. I wanted to rank for this keyword, BLCS boudoir. So I already knew that SQ methodology was the number one, basically the number one option for me to do this. And let's go to the organic slots to see my results. So let's see what I got here. So I got organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So I went from 0 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search, to 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search in only 10 days, purely by using S-cubed methodology. No website even needed. So now the big mission here, we're going to see if this boudoir photography business has BSS, boudoir search sameness, for either of these searches. So we got a local search, we got a city search here. So we got Bella Rosa. All right, not here, we're done there. Boom. All right, boudoir photographer, Auburn, California. Seems like there's an Auburn in like every state. So boom, we got 1. Boom, we got 2. Boom, we got 3. Boom, we got 4. Boom, we got 5. Awesome. People searching this, who are they clicking on? Who are they going to? Obviously going to the person most likely that's got 5 out of 10 slots. Awesome. And yeah, so we got insane coverage here. This is what we like to see. My bet is they're not disappearing. My bet is they're treading water or growing. All right, now we'll go to the big city. We want to have, so they do not have BSS the first search. They hit the GBC minimum for the first search. Let's see here though. All right, so we got boom, 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 boom. Nope, nope. All right, we got 0 out of 10 here for the big city, Sacramento. So we got BSS here, and we got we did not meet the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 here for the large city. City's always harder. So we can take this back. So first search, no BSS. They do not. This boudoir photography business does not have boudoir search sameness. But yes, for the Sacramento, the large city search, 0 out of 10 slots, and we did not meet the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10. So if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, you've done your local search, you've done your city search, and you actually see, you've got BSS for either or both of them, or you're not meeting GBC minimum, recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 page 1 Google slots for either or both of them. And you're like, all right, you realize you got BSS. You understand page 1 equality. There's a false belief, and you're like, all right, I broke through that. I need to achieve, I need to get as many page 1 Google slots as possible. And you also understand the market saturation with, new iPhones, more boudoir photographers coming in, new cameras, more boudoir photographers coming in. But you're also looking ahead and you're saying, man, AI is taking a ton of people's jobs. Last time a bunch of people lost their job, COVID, a huge tsunami of boudoir photographers coming in. So you've actually decided, hey, you got to fortify your life right now and actually get as many page 1 slots on Google, which is only a downflow of getting as many page 1 slots on social search for all the social network searches. That's downstream of that. Before all these boudoir photographers come into the market, come into the city, and start making their websites, ranking, competing for page 1, kind of like prepare, kind of like the levees in New Orleans, since the city's below sea level, kind of like build those levees up to prevent floodwaters or the flood of boudoir photographers from taking your market share. and you're seeing, okay, SQL methodology is the only solution that can get me there effectively. And you want to achieve page one visibility, hit the GBC minimum, recommended minimum of 3 out of 10. Become a visible boudoir photographer, have boudoir search visibility, because you know you need this on your way to become the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you also know that you actually, there's actually hidden back-end benefits of doing this SQ methodology as well we have not talked about yet. First one would be in kind of, we're building thematic keyword columns around our brand name, our social handles, our website, and all that. As we do SQ methodology more and more, it increases the probability we get actually recommended for AI overviews. Here at the top, premium placement, only one slot for local search and city search. And you also want the back-end benefits of every time we execute another day we execute SQ methodology, increasing the probability we get recommended through all the AI search engines, ChatGPT search, Claude search, Perplexity search, Microsoft Copilot search, Google Gemini search. These all run on, thematic keyword clusters, authority, age. And so every day we execute the SQ methodology, we're increasing that, probably getting recommended there. And we know more, literally, Google still has, I believe, like 89 or 90% of global search share. But due to AI search, using more and more and eating into Google every single day. I haven't used standard Google search in literally like a year to actually click websites and open and read stuff. I've always been using the Google AI mode. And so you want these back-end benefits. You also decide you want to be the first mover in your city, because you recognize, my current plan is to only work with one person per city on this. So you kind of want to box out your competitors and kind of achieve all this front-end results, hit the GBC minimum, 3 out of 10 on page one, kick out competitors off page one, effectively make them invisible to approximately 80% of searchers who never go to page two, and build these momentum on the back end, which is higher probability AI overview, higher probability being recommended AI search, and higher probability nobody in your city ever catches you. Putting more distance between you and them, by building up this thematic keyword columns attached to your brand for the backend for AI search engines to be recommending into the future. Because I know last time I used Google or ChatGPT to search for boudoir photographers in a city, dude, it only gave me 3. I'm like, what? There's like 60 in this city. It literally only displayed 3. So we want a higher chance of being those 3. And you also know if someone else in your city jumps on this first, they lock you out, well, you're gonna have to derive or figure out SQ methodology on your own, and then you have to go execute it, but you won't be confident executing it because you don't know if you even derived it correctly to use it correctly. And then you'd have to equal our output with your competitor to just maintain the gap. You'd have to actually exceed our output with your competitor for us, to actually make up ground on us, and kind of take back the momentum that we're building in the back-end AI search and the front-end results we get kicking you off page one of Google. So you've decided, screw that. I'd rather be the first mover in my city, give myself the highest chance of blocking out all the boudoir photographers coming from AI. They're going to be forced losing their jobs, but people still got to earn money. And you decide SQ methodology is the solution you want, the path you want to take. So shoot me a DM. Not right now. My DMs are full, or my DMs are closed. The hospital we're not taking any new patients right now. But